Hello, friends. Welcome back to another episode of the Milk and Madness podcast, your virtual parents group, where we explore parenthood one episode at a time. I'm your host, Nyi.
And I'm your host, Dee. And today we would like to let everybody know that we have survived 100 days of prep.
Woo-hoo.
Please give us a round of applause because I feel like it's been a journey. All of it's been a journey, but especially this 100 days. So let's do a little catch up, a little chat of how we're going, where we're at, how the last 100 days have been, what our challenges are, how we found jumping into school now that we're in term 3. It's not brand new anymore. How's it all going for you, Nyi? How's it going for Kenzo, I should say?
Yeah, look, I think overall it's going well. We're in our 3rd term now. We've gone through 2 school holidays. And on one hand, I feel, seasoned expert here. We've gone through enough to get a good feel of what school is like. And then on the other hand, I'm overwhelmed, honestly. So the 100 days of prep, I had no idea that was a thing. And then we started getting the announcements about it from his teacher. And you dress up in whatever themes. Some kids have dressed up as an old person, 100 years old, or something to do with numbers. Parents got quite creative and they dressed their kids up as, I think someone was like 101 Dalmatians, which is adorable.
Oh.
And so I had no idea it was a thing. I'm Googling it and we don't have any time. And so I just used whatever I had at home in my old craft box. It's like random things in there. I had my hot glue gun, just sticking pom-poms onto a hoodie for him and had 100 on it. And it was truly terrible. I do generally pride myself on being good with craft, but if you judge me on this, honestly, it was really bad. But the good news is I showed it to Kenzo and he said, "Mum, I love it." And I was like, oh, that's all that matters. I don't care what anyone else thinks. Kenzo loves it. He wore it with so much pride and he was genuinely really excited about 100 days. So I think in terms of what it's about and celebrating it, yes, I'm all for that. Like, he was really excited and I could tell that it was such an achievement for him. So that was 100 days. I have definitely taken some learnings for it for Ambrose next 3 years. Yeah, to hopefully do a bit better with the craft aspect. But it won't be
You're
a
just going to
surprise.
recycle Kenzo's hoodie?
Oh, yeah, we'll definitely keep it just in case. But if I have time, I'll try to do something else. So that was something that I had absolutely no idea about at all. And you said you didn't know about it either.
No idea. It's so many little things are starting to creep up. They're like, oh, now there's this and now there's that. And we just had the theme where they had to dress up as an old person. So we weren't able to be as creative where we had to do other things. So that was fine because I could just go and buy a costume with the hair and all that. And it was so sweet to see all the kids dressed up. They were all like little old people. It was the cutest thing. Like, one girl came like with like fake hair and like rollers in her hair and like the glasses with the chains, and it was super, super cute. I got the message early. The school let us know early, so I just jumped online and bought a costume. It came with a t-shirt that said Happy 100th Day. So thank God for that, because I am not as crafty as you. I don't even want to tell you my story about my curtains because you'll probably judge me of how I've hemmed them. But anyway, we won't go there. But it was really cute. So some of the kids, or one of the kids at Aiden's school, he was like, "Oh, we've finished school now. We've done our 100 days." And I'm like, "Oh, buddy, you've got so much more to go." It was really sweet, though. He thought that 100 days meant he was done, that he was graduating. That was very, very cute. But it's all these things that are popping up, that keep popping up. We had obviously the hat parade. There's all these like school assemblies that have come up. There's, what else do we have? Like, we've got book week. We've got the Olympics. They're doing like dress ups for the Olympics. There's all these little things that just every week I get a new ping. We even had a ping about lice. There's someone that's got lice in his year level. Check for lice. We need a form for this. We need a form for that. And then Amelia's got crazy hair day and she's got other things like excursions and this. It is a lot. It's a lot. And I can't even complain because your school is bonkers. Like, you have so much more on top that's going on than what I feel like our school has.
Yeah. So when I say I feel overwhelmed, it's partly my fault because I signed up for the parent committee. Of
Yeah.
course. And yes, I'll be really involved now as, oh my God, meetings at 8 p.m. during the week, which are really hard to make. And then this weekend there was a Bunnings sausage sizzle. Bunnings is a really large hardware,
Yeah.
gardening chain store in Australia. So they
Mhm.
offer community groups to run a sausage sizzle on the weekends and raise money and all that stuff. Our school had one this weekend and I volunteered my husband because I was like, I can't do this, so you do this. And then it's constant fundraising. So
Mhm.
know, outside of that, it is already quite overwhelming because, as you said, there's all this stuff. Every week, there's a new thing. And then on top of that, we've got constant fundraising. So I mentioned this to you, and you're like, we haven't done any fundraising. I'm like, oh my God. We've done the selling chocolate bars thing. We sell sugar-free icy poles every Friday to raise money. They do stalls for all this different thing. We were raising money for a charity the other week. And then obviously we had the sausage sizzle. They're a very busy and efficient group of parents, I have to admit. But it is a lot. It is a lot.
Mm.
And then there's the reading we have to do every night. There's the writing we do every night. He's got show and tell, so we've been practicing that. He's got it today. Yeah, it's a lot. And I think there was a part of me that thought before Kenzo started school that in some way it'd be easier. But I have to admit, it's been more full on
Mhm.
than childcare. And then I'm thinking now, will it be easier when they're both in primary school? Because then I'm just juggling one thing rather than at the moment
Mhm.
juggling things at childcare and primary school. We will see how that goes. But yeah, it's been a lot. It's been a lot, not negatively,
Mm.
but I think just I do feel in some ways I'm quite behind on messages through the various apps. And so I bumped into one of the girls from childcare last night at the shops. And she was like, "Oh, we'll see you on Thursday." And I'm like, "Oh gosh, what's Thursday night?" And she's, "Oh, we're doing the art show." And I'm like, "Oh, okay, yes, the art show. Of course, the art show. I'll be there." I totally would not have remembered the art show at
Mhm.
Ambrose's childcare if I had not bumped into her because I missed the message in the app.
Mhm. Yes. There's
It's
I
so
get
much.
pinged like 4 times a day, I reckon, just from Aiden's school and then Amelia's childcare. Obviously, they send updates on what they've done for the day and all of that. And I feel bad because I don't even look at the photos. I just don't have time. It's just so much coming at you all at once. And I also sometimes I'll have a quick skim and then I'm like, I'll read it later or I'll worry about it later because like I'll just skim it. I'm like, it's not something that I need right now. But then when I go back to try and find the message, like with the Olympics, I'm like, oh, what they sent like what colors like each country, and now that I know what country Aiden's in, I'm like, okay, what colors does he have to wear again? Do you think I could find the message? I'm like looking through everything. I'm like, oh my gosh, why is this so hard to find? I just need the list of the countries with the colors so I can put him in those colors and call it a day. And then obviously you've got all the birthday parties as well. That's another thing. Like I've got to
Yes.
go buy a present this
Yes.
weekend for the birthday party. And I was thinking the same thing. I'm like, surely it's going to be easier when they're both in the same school. However, and I think it will in some ways, obviously logistics wise, drop offs, pickups will be easier. However, obviously different grades do different things. So not every grade, like obviously preps, like Amelia will do the 100 days, whereas Aiden won't. And then with the Olympics, obviously it won't be for another 4 years, but like, give that as an example. They'll be different countries, so they'll have to wear different clothes. And then there's been other activities, like they had the disco on and they were grouped in by grades. So different grades went at different times. So again, if they're not in the same grouping, they'll be at different times. So there's just all those other little things that might be easier. Like they're both going to the disco, cool, but it might be different times. I don't know. I'm praying it's going to get easier. Because yeah, it's a lot. It's a lot, but it's been really positive. How is Kenzo feeling about school? Is he loving it? Because obviously last time we had both of us were having issues some days where they just didn't want to go. I had issues with getting him to stay before school care and stuff, not wanting me to leave. Like, how's that all going? Is he loving it now? Is it like a bye at the gate kind of thing?
He's definitely more confident, I think.
Okay, good.
And there has been less mornings of
Mm-hmm.
him, is it a school day? Don't want to go to school. Why do I have to go to school? That kind of stuff. So in terms of his feelings towards school, I think definitely more positive, and it is part of our routine and he gets it.
Mm-hmm.
Why he goes to school. I talk to him about it all the time. If you want to be a scientist, you have to go to school, honey. He's like, I want to be a scientist. I'm like, okay, you definitely need to go to school to be a scientist. Before and after school care is a bit different though, because for him, it really depends on who's there.
Mm-hmm.
So he goes to, and we talked about this in another episode when we started school, but not every kid has to go to before and school care. And that is something I'm still like, where are you guys all going? But so he goes to before school care 2 days a week, and he goes to after school care 4 days a week. And on Fridays, he's home with me in the morning, and I pick him up early now. So that's something that we can definitely chat about. But there are the before school care days, because I think certain BFFs aren't there, it's hard for him. So today was okay. He was excited to do show and tell. So that's what kind of I lasered focus onto that. Yeah. But usually it's harder those days because one, he has to get up a bit earlier. He doesn't have time to have breakfast with me at home, and he knows that certain friends aren't there. So it's a bit harder those days, but generally it's been more positive actually in terms of his feelings towards going to school. How about Aiden?
I think the same. He doesn't really complain very often about it. It's usually like when Amelia's home, like when she's home on Fridays. But again, he's got his show and tell, so that it's a little bit of an incentive. Like, you got show and tell today. What are you going to bring? And he gets excited about that. We did have, I think it was yesterday, he was just, I don't know, he was just in a mood and a half. He did not want to get ready. He didn't want to brush his teeth. I was like, let me help. Like, I tried all those things. I'm like, let me help you. Let me put your clothes on. Like, we tried all those things. And then I'm like, Aiden, let's go brush your teeth. He didn't want to go brush his teeth. Even if I brushed it for him, he just did not want to. And I'm like, Aiden, come on, we're going to be late. We're going to be late. Nah, nothing. I'm like, Aiden, in the end, I ended up getting him in the car. He still hadn't brushed his teeth. Ended up getting him in the car. And I'm like, Aiden, after he got in the car, I'm like, Aiden, I don't have time to park the car. The bell's going to go. I have to drop you off at the front. Lost it. Lost his mind because he wanted me to come. Because I usually go take him to the breakfast club, go stand like while he waits in the line, say bye to him, music comes on, bell goes on, say bye, wave, watch him go into his classroom and stuff. And I've tried to like say to him, like, would you like me to drop you off at the gate? I've tried a couple of times and he's flat out said, no, I want you to come with me. And so like yesterday, like I said to him, I'm really sorry, you need to go, I need to drop you off the gate. So I stopped at like the 2-minute parking spot, like where it's just drop off and pick up. And I felt so bad, but he was crying. I'm like, Aiden, I'm really sorry. I'm like, you took too long to get ready. You haven't even brushed your teeth still. I'm like, I don't have time to park. Can you hear the music? I'm like, the music's on. It means you need to be lining up right now. I'm like, I need you to go. So he like sulked all the way. I watched him sulked all the way. And then I asked him afterwards, I'm like, oh, how were you still upset in the line? He's like, no, I was fine when I got in the line. But then when I got in the classroom, I remembered that you didn't come in with me. And so I started crying again. I was like,
oh God.
It's so hard, but I'm just like, if you'd gotten ready on time. So then, it was the day before. So then yesterday, I was like, let's not have a repeat of yesterday. Let's get ready. And he did. Everything was like perfect to a T. He was like dressed first, teeth brushed, lunchbox in his bag, drink bottle in his bag. Everything was ready. And I'm like, okay, now you can play. Now you can play until it's time to go. It's fine. I'm like, but just get ready first. So I'm still... It's a work in progress.
We actually had that chat as well. How funny. A couple of days ago, because a lot of students just get dropped off. Like I can see them just get out of the car, right? And then they walk and they play and then they go to class. And I said to Kenza, hey, do you feel like you're ready for that? And do you want mum to just drop you off, or what would you like? And he said, no, I want you to hang around and watch me play and watch me go into class. And I'm like, okay, cool, we'll keep doing that, but we need to make sure we have time. So usually we have time. There are some mornings where I'm like, oh my God, who is this sloth? But most of the time it's okay.
So it's mostly going well. It's just every now and then they're in a mood of some sort that they just refuse to move, refuse to go, and nothing you do works. And you're like, oh my gosh, come on.
How's before and after school care going for Aiden?
Pretty good. He hasn't. He goes to after school care a lot more. I don't think he's been to before school care for a little while, but fine, right? After school care was never an issue because he just goes straight after. He just walks over. It's not a problem. I usually get there around 5:30, and I'm literally there till close to 6 because he doesn't actually want to leave. So I'm like, why do I come and pick you up at 5:30 when you don't want to leave? He really enjoys it. They do a
That's
lot of
good.
activities.
Mhm.
They make food. He really loves it. Before school care, it just depends. Again, it depends on the day. It depends on their mood. If he's in a good mood and I can drop him off and I say bye and it's all fine. And then there's times when, I'm just stuck there forever and I'm like, I can't. So I've stopped doing it. I've
Mhm.
let Calvin do it because I'm like, it's too much. He just doesn't, it's hard on him and it's hard on me. And it just defeats the purpose of going to before school care. I can because I'm not working at the minute, so like I can keep him at home. He doesn't need to go in as much, but we'll have to see when I start working. He might have to go in 4 or 5 days a week. We'll see how that goes.
The other thing that was causing so much stress was lunches.
Mm-hmm.
And now that it's been a significant amount of time of me making lunch every morning, I'm feeling a bit more okay with it.
Mm-hmm.
And it's been a bit less stressful. There are days where he touches his lunch, there are days when he doesn't. I try to add variety. I ask him to contribute his ideas in terms of what he wants in there. So it's been okay. Yeah, I think better in terms of the stress of lunches. That's still there a little bit because he's not a big eater. I'm
Yeah.
probably always going to be worried about that until he's grown up and has his own kids and stuff. But definitely less stress in terms of the lunches. Yeah. How about
Yeah.
you?
Oh, it's good. I do them the night before, so I'm like, yeah, whatever. Like it's done, it's dusted. I don't have to worry about it. Look, there's days when he just barely touches it. There's days
Yep.
when he comes back and I'm like, what have you actually eaten today? Because everything's still in here, pretty much. Like, he might have had a bite of this or a bite of that, but nothing significant. But then poor after school care, the day before, he ate about 6 sandwiches. And I was like, not whole sandwiches, but quarters or halves or whatever they had cut them in. But I could just see all the crusts they took a photo. I'm like, I could see all the crusts on the napkin. And I was like, 1, 2, 3, 4, how many sandwiches have you eaten? And then come home, lunchbox is like full of his food.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, what didn't you
Yeah.
like? Like, why didn't you eat your lunch? Like, what happened? And usually he was too busy talking. He was this, that, whatever it is. And then one day he didn't like his sandwich because there was mayonnaise in it, which there was no mayonnaise. It was butter. But he thought it was mayonnaise, so he didn't eat it. Another day he didn't like it because there was lettuce in there. So I'm just like, oh, for heaven's sakes,
How
child.
dare
Like,
you?
just,
How dare you put
I just,
lettuce?
God forbid, I try to give you healthy food. The Calvin's been making them a lot too, which is really helping because then I don't have to think about it, one less thing. But I actually find them quite easy. As long as you've prepped in the sense of you've bought what you need from the shops, I can usually make do. I can usually find stuff that I can just throw in there. Sometimes I even throw in some cereal. We've got these little cereal bites.
Yeah,
I throw
totally.
them in there. Obviously, fruit, we've always got fruit around. Vegetables, we've always got whatever. Cut up some carrots, cut up some cucumber. There's always something. Instead of a sandwich, I might put him a croissant or something. Like, he doesn't always have to have a sandwich. So there's ways around it. I'm not as stressed out as you because obviously Kendra's a little bit more of a fussy eater than Aiden is. So it's fine. It's more the time and the thinking and the prep and then when we're going to have 2, then it's like 2 loads of this as well. It's more than getting the lunchbox in the school bag that I'm like, come on, get on it. I've made it. And then he tells me, what did he say to me the other day? He was like, I asked him to do something. He's like, every time? I don't want to have to keep doing this every time. I'm like, well, I don't want to have to keep making your lunch every day, but I have to. Otherwise, you'll be hungry. So if you want to eat, it's got to go in your bag. So what do you think this is? You think it's like a once-off, like one and done? Nah, sorry.
Oh, that's adorable.
Like, yeah, welcome to the real world, my friend. You're going to have to do this every day for another how many years?
Absolutely. Hey, you know what I just realized or remembered is that our oldest are 6 now. We just had birthdays a
They
couple of weeks ago, both of
are.
us. For your knowledge, if you're listening, our oldest are 3 days apart. 3 days? I think it's 4
days.
days. 4 days. Yeah, so their birthdays are very close. And they both turned 6, which is, I don't know, it feels really old.
Let me tell you something. I was lucky enough to skip the terrible 2s, terrible 3s, the tantrum 4s, the whatever 5s. Since Aiden has turned 6, the attitude, the resistance, I don't know what's happened with him, but ever since he turned 6, he's a different child. He is just rude, obnoxious, demanding. I'm just like, what has happened to you? What is going on? I don't know. Is this like a new thing that's like now 6-year-olds just misbehave? Is it just me? Is it just Aiden? Is it because he just was fine for the first 6 years of his life and now he's like, I gotta make up for lost time? I don't know what's going on. Some days he's fine, but in general, the last couple of weeks, last week or so, I'm just like, something has changed. It's like something snapped in you. Now that you're 6, what, you think that you're like big and that you can just act this way? I was like, you can't act this way. Like he refused, like he was sick the other week and I tried to give him medicine. I was for 3 hours one night. 3 hours. I was begging, pleading, bribing, trying to do everything I could possibly do to get him to have his medicine.
Mm-hmm.
On one hand, I'm like proud of him for sticking to his guns and saying no. No means no. Mum, I'm not having the medicine. No means no. Stop. I'm proud that he stuck to his guns, but I'm like, but can you not with medicine? Can you just, maybe with other stuff, sure. Maybe not with picking up your clothes off the floor or putting your lunchbox in your bag, but with medicine, which is really important, his fever was so high and he just refused. I was at the end of my room. I'm like, can you please just have this? I tried everything. I tried to put it in like a hot chocolate. I tried to put it on like bread and then put like jam on top so like he wouldn't taste it. He can taste it.
Of course he can taste it.
He can taste it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, what do I do? So I just didn't give it to him and I just had to stay awake. And I think I let him sleep with Calvin that night, but I was like, the whole night I was like worried and I was awake and I'm like, do I go check on him? Is he okay? Is his fever broken? Anyway, does anyone else have this problem? Is it just me? Can someone please give me some advice? A, how do I give my kids medicine? How do I trick them into having medicine? Because I bought him a new flavor. I tried the less concentrated version for younger kids. I'm like, I'll just give him a little bit more because but if it's less concentrated, it won't taste as bad. I think I've tried everything, but there's obviously stuff out there that doesn't work. But yes, since he turned 6, maybe it's just a little milestone thing. I'm praying that he generally evens out over a couple of weeks. But is it just me? Is Kenzo okay? Is Kenzo like his normal self?
Kenzo's okay.
Okay. Yes. So it's just me.
Look, he started calling me bro sometimes.
Oh yeah, Aiden's been calling me bro for a while.
It's a bit fun. It's sometimes a bit funny, and then I look at him and I'm like, don't call me bro. Like, I grew you in my belly, and I like you not calling me bro. But every now and again he'll call me bro, and it's quite funny. But in terms of attitude, look, he's always been a bit sassy, but it hasn't been any more than usual. Okay. So we didn't have terrible 2s. I wouldn't say terrible 3s, but I would say if I had to pick a year where he was the most difficult so far, I'd probably say somewhere between 3 and 4. But it was fine. Yeah. It was totally fine. Yeah, so maybe it's just you. You're so lucky.
Yeah, great. Thanks. Please tell me somebody else is in the same situation as me. I don't want to be the only one. Look, like I said, I don't know, he tends to get over these things pretty quickly, but it just... It was just very drastic, like the way he was behaving. He just didn't want to listen to anything. Usually, like, he's really reasonable and I can get through to him. But just, yeah, with everything, he's just been completely different to what his normal self is. And I'm like, what is going on? I don't know. I don't know. And then I have. I'm like, what's happened? Like, you're 6 now. I've tried to speak to him. I don't think he knows. I'm trying to find out if anything's wrong at school because he has said a couple of times that there's a kid that's been hitting him and stuff. And I've, said to him, make sure you tell the teacher and all that and let me know if it keeps happening. They're all really rough. Like, they all play fight and they all play wrestle. And so I think sometimes they'll play wrestle and then one will get a bit too rough and then hurt the other one and then the other one. And I'm just like, just don't play wrestle. Just pick up sticks or something. Do something else. So I don't know if it's a problem, but it's hard to tell because he doesn't really say anything because he's so resilient as well. Like, I think he just takes it and just, it's like water off the duck's back with him. But yeah, I'm like, is it that? I don't know.
Yeah, like school is such a massive part of their lives.
Yeah.
So I would bet that something is happening at school. It really affects his mood. If he has a good day, a bad day, if he doesn't want to go to school, or how he feels about it. It's what's going on with his friends, really. That it comes down to, for Kenzo anyways, his friendship groups and how that's all going. Yeah, I don't know. I'll suss it out more, especially if he's telling you some kids hitting him. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
I would look into that. Yeah.
Yeah, I'll definitely find out because that's the thing. I feel like sometimes like he does come home and then he takes it out
Mm.
at home because obviously it's a safe
Yeah.
space and all of that. And I don't think he can quite articulate. I don't think he can put the pieces together to be like, I'm cranky and I'm upset because I've said no to this kid and he doesn't listen. So now I'm saying no to you. And maybe, I
Hmm.
don't know. I will. I've been asking every single day. And this kid is quite bigger than Aiden. He's probably
Hmm.
twice the size of Aiden. And he can hold his
Mm.
own. Don't get me wrong, he can hold his own, but I'm very big on you don't hit him. If someone hits you, look away, you back off, that sort of stuff, because I don't want him to hurt somebody accidentally just through retaliation. And I don't think it's
Yeah.
necessary at this age. You're 6, go and tell the teacher, go and do something else, let somebody else sort it out.
Yeah.
But I've definitely told him, I've explained to him, you need to tell the teacher because she needs to talk to his parents. I have to let the teacher sort it out with the parents, even though I just want to say to the kid, can you stop hitting it? Just stop. But yeah, I don't know. We'll see. Maybe that's what it is. He was also sick, so maybe he's still getting over it. I don't know, but can you just stop? Can you just be like the loving, caring kid that you normally are? And I don't know. I even said to him, I'm like, are you sure you're 6? Maybe you need to go back to being 5.5 because you're not acting like a 6-year-old. And he's like, I'm sick. I'm like, okay.
Oh God, I can't wait for the teenage years. Oh my
Oh
God.
dear Lord.
Yeah.
I'm not so worried about Aiden. I'm more worried about Amelia because she's sassy.
Mm.
She's the
Yeah.
one that we need to worry about. In terms of school, though, in terms of, because like we said, we're now in term 3, how are you finding it with his progress, like from day 1 versus now day 100 and something? Do you feel that he's absorbing a lot, he's learning a lot, he's, like you said, he's a little bit more confident, he's growing? How's
Hmm.
that journey going?
Yeah, really good, I think. We always have some challenges because he's got some weaknesses in terms of like focusing, which I know all kids his age have, but I just feel like he needs a bit more support with that stuff. And we've got a really solid relationship with his teacher. And so we catch up with her regular-ishly to discuss how he's going. And I'm really big on trying to stick with the reading every night and all that kind of stuff. And yeah, I can see the progress. He can pretty much read. It's the confidence thing, right? Because
Mm-hmm.
we'll sound the word out and let's say it's his or whatever. So he'll be like, I can see in his head, he knows what it is, right?
Yeah.
Then I'm like, okay, let's sound it out together. And he'll be like, it's his. I'm like, yes, great. I'm like, what do you think it is? It's that confidence still, right? Where you think you know what it is. Am I confident enough just to say it?
Mm-hmm.
So we're getting there, but there are words that he definitely knows. In terms of reading, he's doing really well. We're focusing on goals. There's some goals to just the focus stuff for him. He's a big fidgeter. There's other stuff there. So he's very sensory in terms of what he's about. So it's really just understanding Kenzo better
Mm-hmm.
in this environment, in a school classroom environment, and giving him whatever it is that he needs to function better. And that's something that we've really focused on and partnered with the school on. So I would say, yeah, I'm really proud of how he's gone so far. And I think in terms of the community, the team that he has around him, us, teacher, and I know the assistant. I'm just one of those parents. I just know them all, and they all know us. So in terms of the team that we're building around him, it's pretty solid. Yeah, so good. How about you?
Yeah, look, really good. I honestly have no complaints. Like he,
Hmm.
obviously it was a little bit rocky at the start. Like I think it was just adjusting to the new environment, new people, new personalities and all of that. But since all of that stuff with the hitting and the not apologizing, and since we had that
Hmm.
conversation, I think he did go to the principal's office one time because he was hitting a rock on some sort of like a pole thing and they're like, you're damaging property, blah blah blah. But you know, they didn't even tell me about it. Like he told me about it. So it was obviously a nothing, but they just wanted to bring them in and be like, guys, you can't do that. But yeah, positive reinforcement really works for him because he comes home and he tells me how many points he's got. So if they do good things or they do good reading or writing or whatever it is, they get points and he always tells me how many points
Hmm.
he's got. And that's really working well for him. I'll be honest, the last 3 weeks, have not done any reading like whatsoever with him.
It's so hard, honestly.
I've read him stuff, but I haven't done his like school reader at all. Especially obviously he was sick and then like everyone
Hmm.
was sick and then I've just been busy with other stuff. So I just
Oh,
haven't done it
if people are sick,
properly.
just forget it. Just forget
Yeah.
it.
So that's not going great. But, like, he can read his words. Like, he knows his words. Like, we'll still, like, in the car, he'll have a book, and I'm like, tell me what words you can read from your book, and he'll point them out. So we're still doing stuff, but I'd like it to be a little bit more consistent, but we'll get back to that.
Yep.
But he, and you know this already, like, my son's very sporty. He's not
So
very
sporty.
crafty, not very artistic, right?
Yep.
But lately he's been really into it. And even the educator for after school care is like, he's really artistic. I'm like, oh, I would never have described him as that because,
Right.
yeah, he's just not usually like someone who sits down and draws and colours in. Like, he wants to be outside playing and stuff like that. But he's been really into it. Like, he's been colouring in and doing stencils, and he made some tinfoil art thingy the other day, and yeah, he's really artistic. I'm like, oh wow. So I think just being exposed to all this sort of stuff, he's loving Spanish classes.
That's so good.
And music, like they learned, I can't remember what song it was, but the glockenspiel. They learned how to play something on the glockenspiel. I was like, oh, that's so cool. So, and at home he'll sit there and play the keyboard. I can just see the absorption, like he's just learning a lot faster. You can see it. Before, you had to repeat or you had to do something over and over and over 10, 15, however many times, whereas now it's a lot less. You do it like a couple of times and he picks it up. So I think that it's just accelerated in that sense. So we're still working on our words and we're still working on reading. He gets really lazy with the reading, but I'm okay because I know that once he picks it up, he'll fly. So it's like slow start, but then he'll just zoom. So school has been really good. He's got a good bunch of friends and the mums are so nice. We're organising a catch-up, I think, next weekend. This weekend I'm taking one of the kids to a party with me because the mum's going to, like, the football or something. So she's, I've got tickets or something. Can you take my son too? I'm like, yeah, sure, no worries. So it's a really nice little community of people. So it's, yeah, I don't know. I'm really enjoying it apart from the full-onness of all the messages, but I don't know. I feel like I'm his PA, like all these messages.
Yeah.
I'm just managing his calendar.
You are.
All this stuff.
You are his PA, and
I am.
You touched on a real good point because I do feel that it is another, I suppose, like another village, right? In terms of this journey. We've got a mother's group, we've got friends that we had before having kids, and there are friends you make after that. Then then there's people at childcare, obviously, the parents there, and then now with this, we've started a WhatsApp group just because you know what happened. Because I can't keep up with everything, and the other week it was like a free dress day, and Kenzo and I both completely forgot, and I drove up. Oh no! When you see all the other kids in free dress, Kenzo and I looked at each other, and I said, "I forgot," and he said, "I forgot too." So that was really great because he took some ownership. Good. And I said, "Okay, are we okay with you not being in free dress today?" So, yes. I'm like, great, okay. But after that, because when we rocked up to his class, there were a couple other mums, and we looked at each other and we were like, you forgot? I forgot. Yes. Yeah, okay. We got you. So we started a WhatsApp group with all the parents, and it's so funny. So now it's just check the WhatsApp group. Just check before we leave.
Reminder.
Someone
a plate of something for school,
Totally. Like, someone is going to have to remember it and just say, dress up as whatever today or whatever it is. So that's been really good. And just I don't really know these people really well yet, but just the chats in the morning, the chats when we pick up, and just it's similar to Mother's Group, the understanding that we were going through this experience, similar experience, same experience together, right? And it's really supportive. So Kenzo accidentally broke one of the girls in his classroom with her water bottle. And so I spoke to the mum and she said, "Oh, don't worry about it. It's okay. It happens." I'm like, "No." So I bought another bottle. But it's just no big deal. Don't worry about it. Like that kind of stuff. And we message each other about people losing jackets, and someone's lost their favorite toy, and we're all like, "Oh my God, oh no, like crisis." We'll all help look for it when we come pick up, that kind of stuff. So it's really great in terms of this new community that happens, this new village that happens because of school. So I think that's really good.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for listening to our update today, our 100 days of school. I'm sure that Every child goes through a slightly different journey, but we are, as Nee said, we are going through it all together, all at once. So if you can make some friends at your school, parent friends at your kids' school, please do, because it really does help just to have that extra support when you need it, whether it's like to take someone to a party or to help you find a lost toy or whatever it might be. It definitely makes a difference. And please let me know if anyone else is experiencing these crazy, I don't even know what to call them, but the silly sixes. I don't know. If anyone else is experiencing it or if it's just me. And if you have any tips on how to actually give medicine to your kids, please let me know, because I'm dreading the next time that he's sick. And if you've enjoyed today's episode, please subscribe, please leave us a review and share with your family and friends. We'd love to hear your thoughts on anything school related, anything that might be up and coming that we need to be aware of.
Please.
So we're not caught. So we're not caught out. And thank you for tuning into Milk and Madness. This has been Dee and Yi. Until next time, catch you later, friends.
Bye.